Hello, everybody. It is officially spooky season. It is October 1st, which means it is the start to the Hocus Pocus Readathon. I had heard about this not yesterday, but the day before. And I was like, no, this is something I really want to take a part of. So I don't have a TBR yet. And it seems like that I won't have a TBR up at all during this readathon. So I'm going to decide what I'm going to read. And then for this readathon, I'm just going to do a reading vlog instead. Funny, I plan on doing this readathon, and then there's Booktober at the end of the month, and the video challenges have started for that too, and I plan on doing that. There's two other ones that I hope to do this month, and I'm trying to do 4 readathons while at the same time plan my own readathon in November. I'm doing the Lord of the Readathons. It is a Lord of the Rings themed readathon where you follow Frodo's path to Mordor. I got a couple people signed up to help co-host, so they'll be helping with movie nights and reading sprints. So we have a Twitter page already and an Instagram page already, and I didn't put a whole lot of work in this like I did and I didn't. I wanted to do so much more, but I didn't because I'm terrified that this is going to flop and no one's going to want to do it. There's been some interest, so we're going to just keep our fingers crossed. But this was meant just as a quick intro and a quick hello. I got to go into work now. On Tuesdays, I now have 12-hour days ahead of me. I work one job in the morning and the other job at night. I don't know how my boss convinced me to do that, but here I am. All right, so today's the 2nd. It is about lunchtime now. I spent my entire morning just tidying up my apartment, and I took the time to finally go through all the different challenges and create my TBR. Of course, all my books are over there. Hold on. Bring them all the way over here. Okay, don't fall. Okay, I have them now. So there are 3 teams, and I chose Team Trick-or-Treaters with the characters Max, Danny, and Allison. The readathon's till the 13th, so I do have some time to actually participate in these challenges. And this is a tentative TBR. I am such a mood reader, it's not even funny, and so this TBR may change at one point. Alright, so my first challenge is, I hear the legend of the Sanderson Sisters set the mood for Halloween night by reading a spine-tingling book. And for that, right now, I have Rules for Vanishing by Kate Alice Marshall. It's funny, I actually filmed an October TBR video, and I don't think it's even going up. And I talked about this book in that video that y'all are never going to see. Our main character, Sarah, has a sister that goes missing on this haunted road, and this is her trying to find that sister. The second challenge is that light the black flame candle, read a book by flashlight at night. That's one that I don't think I'm going to get to, only because I have a really busy schedule. If you've been here for a while, y'all know I work 6 days a week, and now my 6 days now include a 12-hour day. So I work a lot, I'm really busy, and so I usually listen to a lot of audiobooks or I read books on the go. And I don't think I want to have the confidence to break out a flashlight in the middle of the library or in the middle of the train. I don't think I have that in me. So that means I'm going to have to read this book at home. I picked a short book so I could actually pick a random night when I'm home to do it. I picked a novella, The Ballad of Black Tom by Victor LaValle. I don't know anything about this. I literally just Googled spooky novellas, and I requested this from my library. I know it's currently available at my library, so I'm hoping to be able to get it today while I'm at work. The next challenge is don't get caught by the Sanderson Sisters. Study magical foes by reading a fantasy novel. So read a fantasy novel. For that, I chose Hollow Kingdom. A bunch of these books I got from my library, and so I basically just looked them up on Goodreads to see if they followed some of these prompts. That's the only reason I chose Trick-or-Treaters, like that team, because it looked like their challenges was definitely going to cover for most of the books I got from the library. All of my holds actually came at once, and there's a bunch of them I'm going to have to bring back because I know for a fact I'm not going to have time to read them. But anyways, rant over. I chose Hollow Kingdom by Kira Jane Buxton. It's a fantasy novel, at least according to Goodreads. It's part of the fantasy genre. Our main character is actually a crow, so I think that's really cool. The crow's owner gets sick, and the crow does everything he can to try to save the owner. And while he's trying to find help for his owner, stuff goes down. This isn't the most attractive angle, but we're doing our best. Next challenge, Thackeray Binks is here to guide you all. Read a book with a squad. And for that, I chose House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This actually is due pretty soon, so I'm probably going to have to skip around and read this one first. So this book is about a group of sisters, and the sisters start dying one by one, and our main character doesn't think that her sisters' deaths are accidental, and so she investigates that. To me, sisters are friends for life, so in my mind, they're a squad. Next challenge, Winifred has taken to the stage and is casting her spell. Cover your ears so you don't hear it. Listen to an audiobook. For that, I actually was able to get one like today, thankfully. I have Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. This is book 2 in the series. With book 1, our main character has the ability to see the dead, and her job actually is to bring the dead over to the other side. And her parents are travel, like entertainment people, like documentarians or whatever you want to call it. And they did their show in Edinburgh, like one of the most haunted cities of the world. And so she worked overtime in Edinburgh in the first book, and this book takes place in Paris. And the audiobook for this is available on Hoopla, and with Hoopla, I don't have to wait in line for it. I can just download it, and I've already did. So I'm going to actually start this today. Next challenge, work with your team to save the day, read the group book. And there's 2 group books. One is Hocus Pocus, the very spooky sequel or whatever it's called. I don't have that. And the other one is Serpent and Dove, which I do have, by Shelby Mahiran. As you can see, it's all of these are library books, and they all have to go back. And so I'm reading this one over the Hocus Pocus book. This one is actually pretty cool. At least the concept to me is very cool. The main characters are a witch and a witch hunter, and they have to get married due to extenuating circumstances. So I'm actually really looking forward to this. I've been trying to get this on audiobook, but the wait list for the audiobook is so long. And the last challenge, celebrate your victory by watching Hocus Pocus. Now there's like other rules in regards to this. For each book, it's worth 5 points apiece. The group book is worth 10 points. And watching the movie is 15 points. I need to get 50 points in order to be considered like a winner of this readathon. I can't actually combine any of the challenges. Like I can't double up on anything. So I do have to read 6 books this week or within the next 2 weeks. And for my strength, because I'm part of Team Trick or Treaters, I get an additional 2 points if I read a book with a witchy character. I don't know if any of these include one. I'm pretty sure at least one does. Oh, one's like Serpent and Dove includes at least one. Serpent and Dove has a witch character, so that would be an additional 2 points. And my weakness, I have to keep the Sanderson Sisters busy until sunrise. I have to complete a 24-hour readathon at some point within the next 2 weeks. I'm not looking forward to that one. I can definitely try, but I'm not going to be reading the entire time or staying awake the entire time, because as someone who works a lot, sleep is really important. So, alright. Oh, I see, I should have sat like this the entire time. This is far better lighting. Anyways, my TBR is finally settled. I picked up the house vaguely, and now I need to film 2 more videos before going into work today, because one of them is the challenge video for Spooktober, which is happening at the end of the month, but there's various video challenges happening throughout the month, and one is due this week, so I have to film that. And the other video is my announcement video for my readathon, and I'm getting excited and nervous at the same time for it. A lot of people are misunderstanding what it is. They think it's like, oh, we're reading the series as a team, and that's not happening. But if people want to do that, they should do that instead of doing the prompts. To me, that's still participating. So I think I'm going to have to make sure to say that in my video. But I guess I'll check in with you guys later, now that we finally have a TBR. Hi everybody, so I just got out of work. Last night I did do a couple-hour shift at the main branch at job number 2, and today I worked my usual shift at job number 1. While working at both jobs, I did have time to listen to Tunnel of Bones. Now that I'm about a couple hours into this audiobook, And I like it. I actually like it more than the first book. In book number 1, Cassidy, our main character, had to deal with the Raven in Red who was trying to steal her life. And in this one, she's dealing with a poltergeist. And I think the poltergeist story, I think it's like better written. I think the story makes more sense, and I think that's why I'm liking it more. My theory about Jacob, her ghost friend, still stands. I'm not going to say what it is because it would be such a huge spoiler if I was right. But that's it for now. I haven't gone very far in this readathon, but it's a decent start considering how late I started. Hello everybody, it's Friday, and so trying to see what I did the last time I checked in. I edited my announcement video for my own readathon that's happening in November, and it's live now. It's definitely going to pop out in one of these corners here. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. We would love to have you in November. I know eventually I need to edit my Spooktober challenge video. I want that to go live tomorrow. So I think that's what I need to do when I get home from work today, is do that. I'm trying to think. I didn't do much reading. I continued listening to Tunnel of Bones on the way here. I think I misspoke when I said it was better written. What it was, like with the first book, I didn't think the villain was fleshed out fully, and I'm definitely getting that here. I love this villain more than in the first one. I think it's a far more interesting villain, and I wish that this book was actually book 1 because it would have been such a stronger start. And I'm very curious as to when we're going to find out Jacob's backstory. She keeps hinting that a lot in this book, and so I'm very curious to see if we'll actually finally figure out what's Jacob's deal by the end of this book, or if we have to wait till the next one. While I'm at work today, usually I have some downtime. I'm going to start another book. I think I'm going to start Rules for Vanishing. That book where the sister had disappeared, if I'm remembering that right, or is that a different one? It's either about the group of sisters or a girl disappears. They all kind of blend together eventually. Yes, sister disappears in this one, and Sarah, who's our main character, kind of investigates or figures out what happened to her sister. So I'm gonna try to start that today. I don't know if I'm gonna get into that for very long. Excuse me. It's officially allergy season for me, and my breathing has not been the greatest. That's all I really have to say in this check-in. I haven't read a whole lot more, and I kind of hope to change that, and I guess I'll check in with y'all later when I get home from work. Good morning, everybody. I'm at one of my jobs. Normally, I work at the main branch on Saturdays, and recently my schedule changed to where I only work half days now, but I was needed to work a full day at one of the branches. So that is my plan for the day, making that money. I was here yesterday, and during my shift, I actually was able to finish Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab, so that is one challenge done. I listened to it as an audiobook, so it counts for that challenge. So right now, I have 5 points for Team Trick-or-Treaters. I actually really enjoyed this one over the first book. And my theory about Jacob, incorrect. After finishing the Tunnel of Bones, I started Rules for Vanishing, and this is actually about a town, urban legend, whereas in order to find this magical road where this girl from the 50s disappeared from, there's a set of rules, and Sarah, our main character, is trying to find her sister, Becca. Becca actually disappeared while trying to find this missing girl from the 50s. This is set in present day, so obviously this is a ghost story. Becca went missing chasing a ghost story, and I really like the format of it so far. I really like how it keeps going back and forth to files, interview excerpts, and then switches to Sarah's first point of view. I really like that. My only qualm is within the first 20 pages, Sarah says to the guy interviewing her, "Oh, we found Lucy Gallows, and Lucy Gallows is the ghost." So I kind of wish this was more of they didn't give that away so soon, but maybe there's a reason for it. I'm only maybe 40 pages into it so far, but maybe there's a reason why they told us so soon. But I'm going to let you guys go. I have to finish opening up the branch, and hopefully I'll get farther into this. Hello everybody. So it's been a few days since I last checked in. Last time I checked in was Saturday. Yes? I don't quite remember now. I did a shift over at the Little Branch on Saturday, and so I was there all day, and so I actually did get quite a bit of reading done that day. I had all my chores done by lunchtime, and so I was able to sit down for a couple hours and read. So now at this point, I'm actually about a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way through Rules for Vanishing. It's more than just this girl trying to find her sister. Her and her friends actually get together and they actually go down this mysterious road that her sister went down on. So I think I'm going to have this count towards read a book with a squad. I think that's what this book is going to count for. And then Sunday came and I didn't do any reading. I was just exhausted, and with my schedule, Sundays is my day of rest, and I watched dumb movies instead. The same goes for yesterday. I just really wasn't in the mood to read, so we've had a slumpy couple of days, but it needs to change today, especially since the readathon is ending this week. Readathon is ending in a few days, so I have to change my TBR a little bit to try to catch things up. Currently listening to like folktales of Great Britain and Ireland. I saw that it was like in the new releases on Hoopla. It's an audiobook, and it's just a bunch of folktales. Some with a spookier edge than others. Kind of indifferent to it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it so far. I think this is going to be a pretty solid 3-star read. Because it's folktales, it's mostly fantasy, so this is going to count towards read a book that's a fantasy. And this morning, I actually read a short story by Stephen King. It's like LT's Theory of Having Pets or something like that. Stephen King actually read it aloud at some sort of event, and it's actually a funny short story. I mean, the audience laughed at parts, and I was able to appreciate the humor, but I didn't laugh out loud. And the ending definitely had that smack of horror that's, Stephen King's trademark at this point. The reason why I did read a lot today is because I have to do a 24-hour readathon for Team Trick-or-Treaters. And I was like, you know what? Today's my double. I have to work one job in the morning, one job at night. So today is going to be the best readathon day, I think. So I started my readathon at 9 a.m. It's a little after 4 p.m. now. Finished one book, started another, and during my shift at job number 2, I plan on continuing on with Rules for Vanishing. Kind of hope I finish that today. My shift ends at 8 p.m., so I want to try to read a little bit when I get home. I do have a video to edit, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done when I get home. But hopefully I do get some reading done tonight. I technically can stay up late. I get to sleep in tomorrow because my shift tomorrow doesn't start until 4 p.m. Let's see how I'm feeling. I personally don't like staying up much later than I need to, but this is a 24-hour readathon. Hello. So you can't really see me. I am currently trying to do the read a book by flashlight challenge. I don't own a flashlight. At least I don't think we do. I can't find a flashlight in the house. So it's either misplaced somewhere or we actually don't own one. Especially since, we have flashlights on our phones now. So that's probably a reason why we don't own one. Probably why we never rushed out and got one. So as of now, this is the closest thing I have to a flashlight. I just put on my lights that I have on my bookshelf. I just finished reading Rules for Vanishing, which I'll talk about later. It's really late, and I can't believe I'm saying that it's really late, because it's not really. It's 10:30 at night. After work, I came straight home, put on PJs, made myself a cup of hot chocolate, and sat down and read. So we finally finished Rules for Vanishing, and now that I have these lights up, why am I showing this to you as if you can see it? Wow. I'm about to start a graphic novel, Witches. It's the first volume in a series. I don't see who wrote it, but it's a horror comic series. And honestly, I picked this graphic novel to try to give myself some extra points, since I get 2 extra points if it's something with a witch in it, and it's actually called Witches. But I'm going to get started on this challenge now. Again, showing it to you as if you can see it. Alrighty, so this light was so dim I really couldn't see anything, and I wanted to avoid using my phone flashlight because I wanted to vlog it. So I was held to some sort of like accountability, so you wouldn't think that I was lying when I said, hey, I completed this challenge. But I honestly couldn't see anything. I could vaguely see what was on the page, but with the vlogging, you couldn't see anything, so it really didn't matter. So I was like, you know what? Why am I straining my eyes when I can just use the flashlight on my phone? So I completed that challenge, and you're just going to have to trust that I did it. So it is about midnight at this point. Since I've started this 24-hour readathon, I've finished 3 books and started off. Well, see, that's how tired I'm like, started a 4th. I want to talk about the books that I read more in detail tomorrow. I'm just really tired. I'm exhausted. I should have edited a video today, but I didn't do that. Short story, LT's Theory of Having Pets, or whatever that is, by Stephen King. It vaguely covers the read a spine-tingling book. Yeah, there was a horror element to it, but I didn't find it necessarily spine-tingling. So if I'm splitting hairs, yes, it counts. But I don't know if I actually want to use it to count for that. I probably will read something else, like another short story. I'm going to start Serpent and Dove tomorrow. And if I don't read anything else, that Pet Theory book can count for a spine-tingling read. So if I'm super crushed for time, all I need to do right now is start and finish Serpent and Dove and finish that folktale-like collection. But fingers crossed, I read something that's actually spine-tingling. We'll see. Now I'm going to bid you all good night.